Today we're taking a deep dive into spiritual awakening. And we're going to be drawing from an article from the Spiritual Seek.
Okay.
This article explores various facets of this experience, moving beyond just, a basic definition, and examining things like the catalysts, what triggers this,
Right.
internal shifts that people go through, challenges they face, and the whole concept of living an awakened life.
Yeah, the article starts by addressing this common human desire for something beyond the material world. We all experience this yearning for meaning and transcendence. And it's really this very yearning that lies at the heart of spiritual awakening.
So it's not just about, changing your beliefs, right?
Exactly.
It's described as a fundamental shift in consciousness, like a transformation that alters how we perceive reality itself.
Yeah, it's a big shift.
And the article uses this metaphor of shattering the ego's limitations to illustrate this connection to something much larger.
It's kind of like, you know how you can upgrade the operating system on your computer? So it's like upgrading your internal operating system, allowing you to experience life in a completely new way.
Okay, so then the article goes on to discuss what actually triggers this transformation, right?
Right.
And it categorizes these catalysts into two main types of external life events or internal shifts in thinking.
And both types can be equally impactful.
Okay.
External catalysts often involve, significant life events, things like profound loss, a serious illness, or even a near-death experience.
Yeah.
These sorts of events, they kind of shake us up and force us to reevaluate our priorities, what really matters.
Right, you make you question things.
Exactly.
So the article talks about how these near-death experiences particularly can lead to a diminished fear of death and a greater focus on living a life that really has purpose.
Right.
It gives some examples of individuals who, after having these experiences, pursue their passions with a newfound clarity and intention.
Like they have a new lease on life.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what about internal catalysts?
Well, internal catalysts are more about those shifts in thinking that occur through things like introspection, solitude, even paying close attention to our dreams. These activities can reveal hidden parts of ourselves and lead to a much deeper understanding of our inner world.
Yeah, and the article suggests that these internal shifts, they often begin with a period of questioning those long-held beliefs that we've held for so long, making way for a new and evolving understanding of the world.
It's a process of letting go of what we thought we knew to make space for new insights.
And that can be a really disorienting experience,
Oh,
right?
shit, absolutely.
It's as if the ground beneath you is shifting and you're forced to re-examine everything you once believed to be true.
Yeah, it can feel very unsettling.
But the article emphasizes that even though it's challenging, it's ultimately a very liberating process.
Yes, it allows for the dismantling of those outdated belief systems and paves the way for a more authentic and aligned way of being.
Okay, so as this process unfolds, the article highlights another significant internal shift, a deepening sense of connection.
Yeah.
And this connection, it goes beyond just our personal relationships. It encompasses a feeling of unity with all things.
Right. It's like expanding our circle of connection to include everything around us.
So this expanded sense of connection often leads to increased empathy and compassion.
Absolutely.
Individuals might find themselves more attuned to the experiences of others, extending their compassion to include animals and the environment as well.
It's like we start to see ourselves reflected in everything around us.
And this shift in perspective also influences our values. External validation and material pursuits may hold less significance, while inner peace and authenticity become the real priorities.
The article gives an example of how this might play out in a person's life.
Okay.
Someone who used to find fulfillment in acquiring possessions, might find greater satisfaction in helping others or pursuing a path that's truly aligned with their values.
Okay.
However, it's important to note that the article doesn't paint spiritual awakening as solely a positive experience. It acknowledges there are challenges that come with this transformation.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Not exactly. It's more like, you know how a caterpillar goes through a metamorphosis to become a butterfly?
Yeah.
Well, there's a period of intense transformation involved. It's not always easy or comfortable.
So it's not always a blissful journey.
No.
The article frankly addresses those difficulties that individuals might face as they go through this process.
One of the first challenges addressed is what's often referred to as the dark night of the soul.
Okay.
This period can be marked by feelings of emptiness, loss, disorientation, almost like everything you knew has crumbled away.
That sounds incredibly difficult.
It can be.
Is there any purpose to experiencing this?
While it's definitely distressing, the article suggests that this dark night is actually a necessary part of the process.
Hmm.
It describes it as a period of purging and purification,
Yeah.
clearing out old patterns and beliefs that are no longer serving us to make way for a new understanding of ourselves to emerge.
So it's like moving through a period of darkness to ultimately arrive at a place of greater light and understanding.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay.
The article also talks about this increased sensitivity that often comes along with spiritual awakening.
Hmm.
As we become more attuned to subtle energies, we may find ourselves easily overwhelmed by emotions, external stimuli, or even the energy of other people.
Okay.
So in a world that's constantly demanding our attention and energy, this heightened sensitivity could make navigating everyday life more challenging.
It definitely can.
Yeah.
The article emphasizes the importance of learning how to manage this sensitivity.
Okay.
Setting boundaries, creating grounding practices, and just being mindful of the environments and situations that feel draining or overwhelming. And then, of course, there's the challenge of actually integrating this new awakened self into our everyday lives.
Right. It's all about finding that balance between spiritual insights and practical realities, like work relationships, societal expectations.
Yeah, that integration can be tough, especially when you know the people around you don't really understand or support your journey. The article acknowledges that sometimes sharing these experiences can be met with skepticism or even ridicule.
It can be really isolating. The article recommends finding that balance between authenticity and compassion,
Uh-huh.
staying true to yourself while also recognizing that everyone is on their own path, and that's okay.
It seems like the article really emphasizes that spiritual awakening isn't a one-time event. It's more of an ongoing process.
Yeah, it's a journey, not a destination. The article really underscores the importance of embracing impermanence, acknowledging that nothing stays static and we're in this constant state of evolution. And this applies to life in general, not just spiritual growth.
So this ongoing journey of awakening means we're always exploring what spirituality means to us personally. The article encourages moving away from rigid dogma and external structures towards a more personal and experiential understanding of the divine.
And awakening can be triggered by seemingly ordinary experiences. It doesn't always have to be some big life event,
Right.
like spending time in nature, for example, that can evoke a sense of awe and wonder that fosters a connection to something much greater than ourselves.
The article really highlights the transformative power of nature. Even simple experiences like observing the beauty of a flower can shift our consciousness.
Absolutely. And it also points to the impact of art, music, literature, emphasizing how these creative expressions can evoke those deep emotions, inspire new insights, even challenge our perceptions of reality. Engaging with art that resonates with the soul can offer glimpses into universal truths and connect us to something beyond ourselves.
So these external catalysts, whether they're profound or seemingly mundane, often reflect that internal yearning for meaning and connection. And as this awakening process unfolds, we often experience internal shifts, starting with that period of intense questioning and deconstruction of old beliefs. And that can be a challenging phase marked by uncertainty and discomfort as those long-held assumptions are challenged.
It is. The article describes it as a necessary dismantling of outdated paradigms to make way for a more authentic understanding of ourselves in the world. And then, as those old belief systems dissolve, a deepening sense of connection emerges,
Yeah.
characterized by a feeling of oneness and unity with all things.
This shift in perspective often leads to increased empathy and compassion, a greater appreciation for the diversity of life, and a deeper understanding of the shared human experience.
It's like we start to see the world through a new lens.
And this shift in consciousness also impacts our values.
Right.
As we awaken, there's often a shift away from material pursuits and external validation toward a greater emphasis on inner peace, authenticity, and service to others.
It's a natural progression.
The article suggests that our priorities change as we become more aligned with our true selves. Things that once held great importance might lose their luster, while meaning, purpose, and connection take center stage.
However, the article doesn't shy away from discussing the challenges that are inherent in this awakening process. One of the most commonly discussed challenges is the dark night of the soul. This is a period of intense inner turmoil, characterized by feelings of emptiness, despair, disconnection, a sense of meaninglessness.
The article presents this dark night as a necessary part of the awakening process,
Yeah.
a time of purging and purification, where old patterns, beliefs, and attachments are cleared away.
It emphasizes the importance of self-compassion, patience and surrender during this time.
Yeah.
And it also suggests seeking support, through therapy, spiritual guidance, or connection with a supportive community.
Another challenge discussed is that heightened sensitivity that often accompanies awakening. Individuals may become more attuned to subtle energies, both within themselves and in the world around them, and this can lead to increased empathy, but also sensitivity to certain environments.
The article stresses the importance of learning to manage this sensitivity
Right.
by setting healthy boundaries, creating grounding practices, and being mindful of situations that might feel overwhelming.
And this need for managing sensitivity leads to another challenge, the integration of those spiritual insights and experiences into our everyday lives.
It's about bridging the gap between those spiritual ideals and the practical realities of daily life.
Yeah. How do we walk the walk?
Exactly.
The article suggests that this integration process takes conscious effort and practice.
It involves making choices that are aligned with our values, setting intentions for how we wish to show up in the world, and bringing mindfulness and presence into all aspects of life.
It's about putting those spiritual principles into action.
Right. And the article also recognizes that individuals may encounter resistance from others when they share their experiences of spiritual awakening. Not everyone embraces this concept.
Right.
So it emphasizes finding that balance between authenticity and compassion in those situations.
Yeah.
Staying true to yourself while also recognizing that everyone is on their own journey. It reminds us that there is no final destination,
Right.
no ultimate state of enlightenment where all challenges vanish. The journey of spiritual awakening is ongoing, filled with both challenges and rewards.
So embrace the continuous evolution of consciousness, the ongoing process of growth, and the ever-unfolding mystery of being.
Absolutely. As we engage in this ongoing process, we begin to redefine what spirituality means to us. We move away from that rigid dogma towards a more personal and experiential understanding of the divine.
So it's about cultivating that direct intuitive connection with something larger than ourselves, trusting our inner guidance to lead the way.
And as this connection deepens, we begin to perceive the sacred, not just in moments of spiritual practice, but in every aspect of life.
The article highlights the interconnectedness of all things.
We can see the divine in nature, in art, in relationships, even in the mundane aspects of daily life.
And as we embody this awakened perspective, we naturally begin to live in greater alignment with our values and express our authentic selves more fully.
It involves integrating those spiritual principles into our daily lives, making choices that reflect our deepest truths, and showing up in the world with greater intention and awareness.
So it's not just about personal transformation.
No.
It's also about how we interact with the world and contribute to the collective good.
As we embody our awakened selves, we naturally inspire others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and transformation. We become beacons of light, contributing to a ripple effect of awakening in the world.
Our individual journeys can have a far-reaching impact, even in ways we may not fully comprehend.
And the article concludes by emphasizing that spiritual awakening is ultimately a homecoming, a return to our true nature as beings of love, wisdom, and interconnectedness. So as we delve deeper into this idea of living an awakened life, the article really emphasizes the importance of moving beyond, rigid dogma and those external structures. It suggests that true spirituality, it's more about cultivating a direct and personal connection with something larger than ourselves. And this might involve, exploring different spiritual practices or philosophies, but ultimately it's about finding what resonates authentically within us.
So it's less about following those prescribed rules and more about developing our own personal understanding of the divine.
Exactly. The article highlights the significance of developing our intuition, that inner compass that guides us towards what feels true and aligned.
So it's like as we deepen that connection with our inner wisdom, we start to see the sacred in those everyday moments, not just during those times of, dedicated spiritual practice.
Exactly. The divine becomes apparent in nature, in art, in our relationships, even in the mundane aspects of our daily routine. It's a shifting perspective that allows us to see that interconnectedness of all things.
The article also explores how embodying this awakened perspective leads to a more authentic and purposeful life. It's about integrating those spiritual principles into our actions and choices, not just our thoughts and beliefs.
It emphasizes the importance of living in alignment with our values, making choices that reflect our deepest truths, and approaching life with greater intention and awareness.
It's a reminder that spiritual awakening, It's not just about personal transformation. It's also about how we interact with the world and contribute to the collective good.
The article suggests that as we embody our awakened selves, we naturally inspire others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and transformation. We become like beacons of light, contributing to that ripple effect of awakening in the world.
It's a powerful reminder that our individual journeys can have such a far-reaching impact, even in ways that we may not fully comprehend.
The article concludes by emphasizing that spiritual awakening is ultimately a homecoming, a return to our true nature as beings of love, wisdom, and interconnectedness.
It's about remembering who we truly are, stripping away those layers of conditioning and those limiting beliefs and connecting with that essential spark within.
It's a journey of recognizing that divine spark not only within ourselves, but within all beings. It's about living from that place of awareness, compassion, and purpose, recognizing our interconnectedness, and contributing to a more awakened and compassionate world.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into spiritual awakening as guided by those insights from The Spiritual Seek. We hope this exploration has encouraged you to reflect on your own personal journey and consider what resonates with you. Perhaps this has prompted you to ask yourself, if awakening is about remembering our true nature, what does your true nature feel like to you? That's something to ponder as you continue on your own unique path.